and welcome to Add More Zest, and my name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I'm going to do a section on my Diamond Art Club mystery painting. I have quickly put some cover sheets across the top because it does catch some of the pattern in the frame, and I wouldn't want it to look like the painting in any way whatsoever. I'm probably being overcautious, but I would rather be overcautious than not. But we are going to do a section. So for anybody who's working on this one or has done this one, I am working on the top left is what this section ends up being. This is the top of my canvas here. So this is the top left of the section, and I'm just going to divvy that up a little bit. I don't think a top section like this would give it away, but you never know. So if you do have this one and don't want to know what it is, then by all means skip this video, go and have a look at one of the older ones. But this is the Diamond Art Club mystery. It is the Ocean. What's it called? Mystery Kit Abstract Ocean by Megan Duncanson. It doesn't tell me which number mystery it was, not on the box anyway. It probably did on the listing, but this is the only section of this I will be doing on a WIP chat because I don't want to give it away. So let's get zoomed in and let's see how this goes. We're actually starting with a dark colour. I'm working with the Add More Zest tray in the pale green, and there's something, I just always seem to go slower when it's a brand new painting. Try and get my edges as straight as possible, and then I can be a little bit more relaxed as we go into the rest of it. Oh, it's actually not too bad. I did think that it might be a little bit troublesome, not troublesome, but a little bit more concentration needed, because the background colours to this, it uses 4 different background colours, I'm guessing to keep the mystery a mystery for those that don't use cover paper, or for those that do unroll the whole painting when it comes out the box to look at. It uses a white background, a pale blue, a pale pink and an orange. And I thought it might make it hard to find the symbols, and it might do if I have some confetti symbols, but it's actually not too bad at the moment, though I am working on one of the more prominent symbols as well. See how it goes as we complete the section. But I'm rather excited by this one. So I like to get my straight edges as much as I can, and then I do much prefer the step method when it comes to filling in, if it's a possibility. So at the moment this is a bit of a possibility, and I can just do steps in the diamonds. Okay, that one's got a little bit of a nub on the end, so let's get rid of you. Of course I forgot to bring my trashy grip mat in, because it's one of those days. It's definitely one of those days. It's really warm. It's nice warm, but it's really warm. I think I may not have tipped out enough diamonds for this. I was being a bit conservative with the diamonds, thinking that there wasn't that many of this symbol. But as I'm going through now, I'm seeing more and more sections with this symbol on. It's like, oh, maybe I needed more diamonds. There was another one there. It was orange. It was orange to confuse. But yeah, I hope everybody is having a great Sunday. I hope those in the UK are enjoying the bank holiday weekend, which is, say, we seem to have quite a few. Well, we have had quite a few in the month of May. We happen to have had 3 bank holidays, an extra one due to the coronation. We normally get one at the beginning and one at the end. So yeah, it makes for some good DIY days, though we have had better weather, I think, for this bank holiday than maybe we have for the others. Or at least we have where I am. The weather can vary in various parts of the UK, so apologies if you have the rain. But I think we're all doing pretty good weather-wise at the moment. But yeah, comments, questions, etc. This is the last WIP and Chat before June Waffle. But of course then we'll have a WIP and Chat a day. So there'll be loads to catch up on. So any comments on any of the WIP and Chats, Heaven and Earth Design WIP and Chats, or this Sunday WIP and Chat will be the start of the comments that I read out on June Waffle. So there'll be loads of topics for us to chat about, and we may even have some threads of conversation that normally come up on one type of my WIP and Chat filtering into another type of WIP and Chat. But look, we have colour on it, albeit a dark blue. We have colour on my mystery. Katrina, she says, when you get pieces that don't have colour codes, she says, how do you organise leftovers? I actually have a couple of different videos on ways you can find a way to organise diamonds that don't come with a DMC code. To give a quick explanation, though I will link the videos for you, they are available on my website, which is down here, admiralzest.com. Under videos, I do have a category for no DMC codes, and there's a couple of videos in there. So one way is to use a colour coding chart, a DMC colour code chart, to match up the colour that is in effect the closest. And then you can find the DMC number and pop it in with those diamonds. That's a way to get rid of all diamonds from a kit straight away. If you don't have a DMC code chart, or maybe you don't want to be checking the codes for every single colour in a chart, because it can take, of course, quite a bit longer. If you have 30 or 40 colours in a painting, it can feel like it can take quite a bit to actually, check them all off and find the closest colour to then put them away. Another option is to have sort of an ongoing pile of non-DMC. So when you dekit a non-DMC painting, just pop each colour into a separate baggie, maybe group them roughly by colours. So put your pink ones together, your red ones together, your blue ones together, etc. And then when you dekit a painting that does have DMC numbers, pull out your diamonds that don't have them and see if they match any of the ones that you're about to put away. And if you do, then you can add them together and pop them both away into your spare storage. A bit like a puzzle game, but of course you're only checking for colours that match what you already have, rather than going through all 400-500 DMC colours and trying to find which one out of all of those matches the one in your hand. So this way you're doing it sort of the opposite way. You're taking a DMC number that you know what it is and seeing if you have any spare diamonds to go with it. But I do have to say, I do have videos on how I did both of those, especially if you're a visual learner. They might be a bit easier for you to be able to see what I mean by that. I don't tend to have that many now that don't have DMC codes though. There are still some, but a lot of sellers do seem to have realised that we like our DMC codes. So they tend to tell us what they are. Sometimes they're not on the painting, but they are actually on the packets of diamonds as you go to put them in your storage. So you just need to make sure that you note them down out of your little packets. So do check, if they're not on your canvas, do check whether they're on your bags of diamonds before you think you've not got the DMC number at all. Sometimes some sellers may be able to give them to you if they don't do them. But that's not always the case. So it's whether you want to go through messaging a seller, asking if they have the DMC numbers for a specific painting you've bought or not. Again, that's sort of a personal preference. Sharon, she says she agrees. She comes from a not multi-placer. She said, but she too can now do it in verticals. So she can now do 4 placing in verticals. She said she still doesn't like multi-placing squares, but she really doesn't like doing squares at all. Well, if you don't like doing squares at all, then I'm not surprised that you don't like multi-placing squares either. I can imagine that's like a little bit of a double whammy for you. Doing a square painting that you're not keen on using squares, and then trying to multi-place that you're still trying to get your head round as well. So I can completely understand where you're coming from with that one. There is actually loads of this colour. I keep finding bits. I keep double checking I've not got any over here. I don't think I have. I think I might have to do this diamond painting a little bit different to how I normally do it as well. Because we don't have any colour background on the symbols, normally I would do a diamond painting. So now I would probably do the number 2 and fill in the number 2. In fact, I might still be able to get away with that. But I kind of feel like I should be concentrating on the symbols that jump out at me a little bit more with this one. This first symbol is a clear symbol to see. But I kind of feel like I should just move to the next clearest symbol to see before I move on. And work on the clear ones. And then maybe I won't miss as many. Maybe I'll have to do a couple of tests while I'm doing it. Right, I don't think I've missed any of these. I think we're good. Right, what's next? Oh, my number 2 is my AB. Oh, I've got some sparkle AB in it. Go on, let's try the number 2, because I still think they're fairly clear. And I don't think I brought an AB pen in with me. Awesome. I haven't, because this is the first time I've worked on this. I haven't yet. Sorry, I'm trying to hunt for an AB pen. I thought I had one in here. I normally keep one in my case. But of course, I haven't put one in my case yet, because this is the first time of me working on it. And I thought I had another spare one that I'd actually left in my craft room. But I don't think I have. Okay. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to grab myself, in fact, no, let's grab myself one of these. Do I want, no. I was going to grab myself one from stock, one of the clearance ones, but I actually want to work on one of these. So I'm going to grab one of these, which is the pick up pens that we have in the shop. So this is the crystal, and it can just become one that one of the kids can use after I've finished, of course. So I've not yet dulled the tip. The tip of them is very pointy when you first get it, which is great. And you think, oh yeah, that's nice and neat, nice, fresh, pointy tip. I actually find when they flatten out a bit, I actually find them easier to use. When I've dulled them a little bit and they end up being a bit of a bigger tip. But oh, look, we've got some sparkle in it already. Right, let me see if I can get the others. ABs are, I do find, are a little bit easier to place when you don't have any surrounding it. Because once you've placed them, you can use other diamonds that you put down to nudge them into the right place if you've not got them quite lined up. So for example, when I do my Paint Gem minis where I've decided to add ABs to them, I actually put my ABs on first. And maybe I'll end up doing this once I've got used to recognising what are the AB colours. So that one hasn't gone in properly, hasn't lined up properly. Now I could take the tip off, I could take the lid off the other end of this pen, and it has a little stick tool and I can use that to push it into the right place without, of course, desecrating my wax. Or I can just wait and nudge it into the right place with the other diamonds that surround it on a later date. I've got a couple of different options. That one didn't go down in the right place either, but I'll nudge that one later. I feel like I have to take a little bit more care when I'm popping down ABs. Athena Rose, she said she loves my videos. Thank you. She says she's Helena. She says she's on Instagram and Facebook, as well as following all these diamond painting YouTubers and groups. She says she was just wondering how many pens and other accessories you tend to have for your diamond painting. Well, pens wise, I tend to have far more than I will ever need. Yeah, pens has become a little bit of a collection item. They're extremely pretty, and I have definitely got far more than I will ever need, that's for sure. I think I've got all the twos. That last row of 3 that I did are in no way straight at all. So I do need to sort those out. And I tipped far too many diamonds into my tray for what I'd need. So let me just get those ones back away. So what am I? So number 1, number 2 and number 3 are my AB diamonds. So I don't have any more ABs for now. So let's pop the lid on that. But I do want to nudge these. I've got 3 here and I put the first one down a little bit in the wrong place. So I'm just going to nudge those. And then the rest will get nudged by the diamonds I put down. Yeah, I have far too many pens than what I actually need. But I love them. I have far too many colours of trays than what I actually need. Though I am starting with June Waffle to actually do a painting where I keep the diamonds in the trays and I don't tip them out into the pot. So more trays is very handy for that. The main accessories I like to use are my cover paper. I use them on every single painting apart from the Paint Gem Minis. The only reason I don't use them on them is that I tend to peel off the clear cover, and it's small enough that I don't actually section it off. I do the whole thing. So yeah, cover paper I use every single time. My easel I use for pretty much every single painting. Again, it's probably only Paint Gem Minis and my Heaven and Earth design that I don't. Light pad, not as relevant now because it's currently summer, but in winter that is definitely used for every painting. I like to have a nice set of angled tweezers, which can be helpful to fish out incorrect diamonds. So maybe I pop a diamond down and don't realise that it has a bubble in it. Or maybe I get a bit, you know, diamond placing happy and put some in the wrong place. So angled tweezers I find are a little bit easier than the straight ones. Of course, my pickup pen for my AB diamonds. I now have quite a few in quite a few different places. I love my pickup pens. What else do I use every single time? There are many other accessories that I have. My trashy tray and of course my tray. I do use a trashy tray all the time. I just need to, what I really need to do is get a second grip mat that I keep in my craft room, because my trashy tray that I'm using all the time is currently attached to my Dreamer Designs painting. But I always use that. Yeah, so I have quite a few different accessories really. I use pipe lagging or pipe insulation stuff for rolling my paintings onto when they're a big one. I need to actually put some onto this painting, but I filmed the kitting up video for this yesterday, which you guys will see in July because I can't fit it in my schedule before the June waffle. So yeah, I kitted up and it's been sat on my desk, and then I'm doing this whip and waffle. So I will be putting some pipe lagging onto this. I tend to put it, when I start, I tend to put it on the end of the ones that I've not done to roll it onto, stops it getting squashed flat. And then when I've sort of done enough that it starts hanging over my easel, I tend to not need it the other side, so I'll pull it off the other side and use it to roll my diamond painting that's been completed onto, or I'll use two pieces if it's a really, really long one. So my Minions painting, for example, it's a really long painting, that one. So I actually had a piece of pipe lagging either end. So I use that a lot. My logbook, of course, I use my logbook a lot. There's a logbook update coming end of this month, so I'm squeezing it into the end of the month. I normally do it on the 1st of the month and update all the paintings I started or unboxed or put into my stash. I update all of those the week at the beginning of the month for the previous month. But of course we're starting June waffle, so I'll be doing that on the 31st of May. So yeah, my logbook. I'm trying to think, there's just so many accessories that I kind of sometimes forget. Then of course I've got all my storage, all my different types of storage tubs depending on what painting I'm doing. I've got both small storage and big storage options. So depending on which painting I happened to be kitting up, depends on which case I use. There's probably loads more different things. I know some people use other things that to them are, are a must have. and they use it every single time. You can do it with just the basics that you get in the kit, but I find all of the things that I've mentioned that I use pretty much every single diamond painting are what makes it that little bit more enjoyable for me. The indulgence is probably multiple colour trays and pens, but I definitely use a tray and a pen every single painting that I do, so why shouldn't I have more of those? You know, I can't just use one and wear them out now, can I? Even if that would probably take years and years. It makes me smile using different ones. I feel like I should have used a blue or a purple now though for this one, because it seems to be very blue and purple colours that I have so far, but maybe that'll change, who knows. I like to turn my tray round when it gets to the point that I've used all the diamonds in the first half. Anything you can do to shorten the distance between your tray and the diamond you're putting down can save you those little nanoseconds that all add up, and you get to do your painting quicker, which is good when the excitement builds and you're itching to see even what this first section looks like. But I'm going to try, after I've done this section, to finish or mainly finish my Dreamer designs before I do any more. Or I may actually allow myself to do a section or two a week. Who knows? Who knows? It's the excitement. It's the excitement. Okay, I'm going to see what this letter T is, I think. I think I'm still working okay with actually doing my usual one of trying to get the lines boxed in first. I still seem to be able to see the symbols, so I'm going to continue with that. Oh, we've got some 939, so we're definitely on the darker colours for this part, but quite often if you do have dark colours, they quite often appear in the corners, so it's partly to be expected. I do have my little AB sparkle though. This is where I can help to nudge any of my ABs into the right position if I didn't put them in right. So yeah, to try and answer your question, lots and lots of accessories. Probably definitely far more than what's needed, but many of them bring that extra level of enjoyment and make my life easier when I am diamond painting, so they're all worth it. Elizabeth says, good afternoon, Rebecca. She said the curry and chips sound delicious. Yes, curry goes very well with chips. Quite a few places also do like a curry sauce. Well, some places, I know there's a Chinese, like a quick Chinese in our town. We used to have it on a Saturday. When I used to work in the town centre, it used to be our Saturday lunch. It kept our energy up for a busy Saturday day. Somebody would go to the Chinese and you could get half rice, half chips with curry. And that was actually nice as well, mixing the two of them together. She said her friend, sister and herself spent 6 weeks in the UK. We're in the UK the last 2 weeks of July and all of August in 1985. Well, if you're going to get any of the better weather, that's when you'd probably get it. She said she lived on fish and chips. We do know how to do a good fish and chips. Pasties and bangers and mash. Good staple British foods there. She said, plus they did have Indian food. She said she had a wonderful time. She said London is her favourite city. She is native Canadian. She says, well, part of her is. Otherwise, she is a bit of Scot, Irish, French and black, she says. Love your WIP and waffles. Have a wonderful evening. Well, I'm glad you had a nice time in the UK. There's definitely loads to see and do in London, no matter what your interests are, I think. Unless you want to go for a walk in the hills, maybe London isn't the best, but other than that, there's always loads to see in London. We could go London most weekends and still not cover everything that London has to offer, which, you know, with it being the capital, but there are many other gorgeous cities and towns to go visit as well. Laurie, oh, we've got a long one from Laurie. Laurie says hello. She says she must tell me. She said she was so excited this week. She de-kitted a square diamond painting using the Rebecca method, in quotes. She said first she went to her new Heaven and Earth design storage box. So she's doing Amy Stewart, The Secret Garden. And then she filed the rest of her diamonds in her pretty spare boxes, all set up. She said, and she didn't have to hunt for a place to return the baggie to, because she had her beautiful short bookmarks to help save her place. She said it was heavenly. It does make de-kitting so much nicer when you're working with pretty storage and you know you're collecting diamonds for a Heaven and Earth design project, and you can actually find your place, so it takes away the frustrating parts with those short bookmarks. She said she feels like she's graduated to the big girl level of diamond painting. She said before she forgets, she does love her new wooden diamond painting pen. She said it fits perfectly in her hand, and it is short enough to be used with her magnifier lamp without bumping. Ooh, W is a bright pink. That is W, isn't it? Yeah, I'll just do my head tilt to make sure we've got some colour. Yeah, she said, thank you for letting us know that it might be a bit shorter. I'm so glad that it worked out for you. The wooden pen is an extremely popular pen. It's lighter weight than many of the others, though these metal pens are pretty lightweight. The wooden pen is even lighter. And it has a couple of different thicknesses in it as well. So depending on which way round you hold it, depends on how thick the sections are. So it's definitely one of our more popular pens, which is why we actually had it as a limited edition pen 1 month. But it proved so popular and we were asked for it again and again. We weren't able to find a supplier for a while because our original supplier for the limited pens stopped doing them. But we were able to find a supplier and decided to bring it in as a permanent pen because it was so popular. Because the limited edition pens, you know, it's often that they're a different colour, you know, of a same style pen that we offer. So it's just a colour choice. And as much as we would love to stock all the colours, we just don't have the space to stock all the colours. We try to get as big a range as we can. But when it came to the wooden pen, it's different as well. And I think that's why it was so popular. Look at this pop of pink. She also says, she says ironing / hospitals. She said she does like the idea of mixing fabric softener and water into a spray bottle to use when ironing her sheets. She says, what? You must think I'm a lazy bum not having ironed my sheets yet. She said, but she did run into some trouble, literally. I do not think you are a lazy bum for not ironing your sheets, Laurie, because to be honest, I don't even have the inclination to iron my sheets. I never iron my sheets. So I'm actually shocked by the fact that you thought of ironing your sheets, never mind that you're actually planning on doing it. Apparently she is now hobbling around with 6 stitches at the base of her toe that is also broken. Ouch. She must admit, she said the colours on her toe on that foot are a lovely blackish purple right now. So very lovely. She said, and it wouldn't stop bleeding, so there was that mess to be cleaned up. But she must be careful as she doesn't want her foot to swell up from overuse. So no walking around the grocery store for the next 10 days. She said good thing about this little debacle was that she was given antibiotics, and the doctor and herself both hope that this could be a little blessing, as it will, the little blessing she needs to prevent her facial cellulitis in the June-July time frame. Well, let's hope so. Hope that even though you have managed to damage your foot and have to sit down for longer, shame, you can diamond paint, that it does prevent a hospital visit would be amazing. Would be absolutely amazing. I love that pop of pink. Okay, right, where's my wavy symbol? I'm still figuring out where all my symbols are. I've got a little bit more pink. Filling in this little gap around here. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. She says, for the June WIP and Chat, she says she's very afraid that the daily sessions will be about 10 minutes long with you not having bottles to tip and refill. I think it's going to be a lot more than 10 minutes. I'm doing a bigger painting as well. So I actually think that having the trays already with the colours lined up is what is going to save it not becoming a 2-hour WIP and Waffle for me. I think the time I'm going to save by not having to tip the colours in and out is actually going to combat the fact that I'm doing a bigger painting and a bigger section. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's going to be the same. But I don't know. I haven't filmed the first one yet. We shall both wait in anticipation. But I reckon you'll get more than 10 minutes out of me. That's for sure. It would be very weird if I could finish a section in 10 days. In 10 minutes on that size painting. If I could, I think I'd end up setting up the tray system for every single one of my paintings, because I have so many large paintings in my stash. I would love to be able to just sit there and get the excitement of starting them, but also not feel as though the middle section drags on before I get to the excitement of finishing them. Imagine how many paintings I could get done in 2023 if it saved that much time. That'd be amazing. She says she's going to try and keep up with my dotting on a one-on-one basis, but she will be at a disadvantage, she said, this time round. Woe is me, she says, poor little me. She says she'll not be able to compete with Speedy Rebecca in June. She says, and to make things worse, she says, today you multi-placed. She says, you're out of my league, she says, as she is very single-minded, placing one tiny little diamond at a time. She says it's going to be a rough June. I don't know that I'm yet going to multi-place in June Waffle. Never say never, because the mood may take me to try. But while I have multi-placed with a square in the past, which one was it that I did? I did one of my large paintings. Oh, it was a good few months ago, and I actually did a little bit of a practice at multi-placing, and I actually started with square multi-placing. But since I've picked up multi-placing again to try it, it's only been with a round. I've not tried it yet with a square. We'll see how long it takes for me to do it single placing but with the trays before I decide whether I'm going to give it a go at multi-placing or not. But I think I'm at the stage at the moment where multi-placing is a lot easier for me to give it a try on my own when I'm not chatting at the same time. It's something that I do feel I need to concentrate just a little bit more on still. It's still quite new to me. And normally I would have been like, no, I don't multi-place. And it's never something I do. It was actually somebody saying how they treat it like a jigsaw that actually made it appeal to me. It's sad that it's because it's a puzzle that it appeals to me more than if it wasn't. But hey, right. X is done. Look at this. Makes me wonder what this one is now. Is this going to be a blue or is it going to be something different? We shall find. Oh, we've got a grey. So I've got number 7 for filling in this, and it's actually a grey colour. I wasn't expecting a grey. I was expecting a paler pink. Suppose that's the benefits of a mystery, is it's a mystery. I'm trying to work out what that is. Is it a blob? It's an ocean theme. Is that a fish? Who knows? Who knows? Let's have a look what this one is. Oh, it is a blue. So we are on sort of a dark blue into purple into more blue. Yeah, Laurie, I think you'll be fine on the June waffle. I think you'll surprise yourself at how much you get done. I often, if you're doing exactly the same painting, I often end up doing the section quicker than many. But I think that's just the amount of time that I've been diamond painting. So therefore, I do get through them quite quickly. Quite quick at single placing. I'm definitely quite slow at multi-placing. Maybe I should try and multi-place one day just so that you can see if single placing is quicker. Because there are many times that I definitely feel that single placing would be quicker. The amount of time I'm faffing about with some of the ones that I multi-place down. It definitely doesn't feel right to me, but we shall see. But let's fill in all of these. Eugenia, she said she did finish the diamond painting that she was working on. And she's actually decided to do Geronimo with the Guardian Eagle for June waffle. Ooh, sounds fun. I can't wait to see what everybody is working on for June waffle. I have scheduled the posts on our Facebook group for each day throughout the month of June for you to be able to post your progress and how you're doing on your section. So I've just got one post in the Facebook group so it can keep it all together, which means if somebody is asking a question that's not about the June waffle, it won't get lost. But also we've got one place to go to be able to see how everybody's doing and encourage each other with comments and stuff on everybody's work. So I've scheduled all those posts and I have put which section I will be working on. I basically sat there with the decision wheel on 30 and hit it, and the first number it told me was the first section I was doing, and then I hit it again, and then I hit it again, and I basically went through all 30 and got myself the list for every day in June, so that I could make sure that they were up on the Facebook post. For those that are in the future, like Australia and New Zealand, the post could go up early enough for them to be able to do the section on the day if they wanted to. When my mum's done the June waffle in the past, she has actually done it a day behind. so she tends to diamond paint and watch my videos in the morning. So she would do it on the 2nd of June instead of the 1st, and just finish on the 1st of July instead. But I know some people like to follow along day by day. So the post will be up early enough for you guys. It goes up at 10 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock British summer time, 10 in the evening, the night before. So it's ready for you all. Anna says it's looking very nice so far. That is my Dreamer Designs painting, which I'm also working on. I haven't got much of that done this last week. I've got a little bit done, so I have moved on a bit, but not too much. We've been decorating bedrooms. 2 of the children have basically switched bedrooms. So the one that is at uni all the time has gone into the smaller room of the 2, and my son, who is home, has gone into the bigger room of the 2, which makes a lot more sense. And it's working really well. And she'll be home from uni soon, so we'll find out for definite when she's home for uni and in that room for about 3 months, because they seem to have forever off when they finish uni for the summer. It feels as though they have loads of time off, but she's currently sitting, she's got 1 more exam to go, and then first year is done. In Two Minds says, hi Rebecca, thanks as always for keeping me company while I diamond paint. She's currently working on a mystery painting too. She's working on one by Selena Fenish. She said she absolutely loved working on it. It is taking a while for her to finish because she says she's rubbish at multi-placing. Practice with that one. I'm not that good at multi-placing, but go vertical, go small, and just give it a go every now and then. Sometimes you are just like, quite often I'm like, okay, I'm done with multi-placing now. But I am getting better and better each time that I do it. So it is worth it to keep practicing. She says she's also that type of person. She says that only has 1 work in progress at a time. So she's really trying to finish the kit in time to kit up a new one for June Waffle. Ooh, exciting. Well, if you don't get to finish, then use June Waffle as your time to, finish through that one and then maybe start another one. The main thing is to join in. It's not how much you actually get. It's not that you have to do 1 painting. There are some people that are using the June Waffle to actually clear up a few WIPs. They have a few different paintings on the go, and they're using June Waffle to clear the decks. Bit of a spring clean of their diamond paintings. And then there are some that are, of course, a starting one. Plus, if you're doing 1 section a day, maybe it is an opportunity to get a little bit out of your comfort zone and kit up a June Waffle, because you can still finish your other one alongside it. These diamonds are fitting nice, but there's just this little gap here that I'm like, I just want to nudge them. Should get myself a straightener, really. They fit together so nice though. Yeah, so you'll still find that some days you will have a bit more time to diamond paint maybe than actually finishing your section. So maybe that's when you could go back to finishing up the one that you're working on now, if that's not too far out of your comfort zone. It's an option. Oh, Rebecca Smith, apparently she has removed whatever comment she first put. She said, because I covered the multi-placing tip in my video. So maybe that was when you are multi-placing vertically to turn your tray vertical as well. So actually to knock your diamonds down and turn your tray that way. It may have been that one, because that was mentioned to me the other week on a video. And I have started to do that one when I'm doing a lot of multi-placing. If there's only maybe one little section that I can multi-place, like one little row, then I might twist it just because it saves me twisting it back. But if there's a few, then I definitely do turn it. Sparkle Sherry. She says, happy Mother's Day, everyone from Texas. I hope you had a great Mother's Day as well. She says she's in a mystery group to see what the mystery paintings are. She says, and they're really pretty. She says she is looking forward to the June waffle. It will be her first June waffle, and she's doing the same one I am, the charity ribbon for Alzheimer's, and that's a Splatterworks artwork. They have actually been restocked as well. I don't know how many are left, but I do know that Diamond Art Club did, not Diamond Art Club, Diamond Art Studio UK, it's because I'm working on the Diamond Art Club painting. Diamond Art Studio UK did restock the Splatterworks ribbons. They air freighted some over to get them as quick as possible. So there was, as I'm filming this, some of the Splatterworks ribbons left if you wanted to grab yourself one before Thursday. Right, and that is my first section done. I don't think you can tell what it is, though if you did look up her artwork, you may be able to figure out which one it is from this section. Maybe it is a fish, because it is abstract, so maybe it's an abstract fish. Who knows? I'm trying to work out if that's an eye. Who knows? It could just be a blob. I guess I'll find out as I go on. But yeah, that's fun to do. I've enjoyed that. I don't know how... I'm guessing as I first start coming across new symbols with new colours and the way, you know, it starts to show and how I may not expect it. So I didn't expect a bright pink to come in here. So I reckon there'll be a little bit more excitement with that. Maybe I'll actually pay more attention to the colours that are being pulled in because I've got no colours on the background. Who knows? But it's definitely different to do. I've enjoyed doing the first section. I'm sure I'll enjoy the rest. But yeah, stay tuned. It will be the de-kitting video that I will showcase what it looks like at the end of it, with plenty of warning. But my first section is done. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's waffle. Thursday is the start of the June waffle. So grab your paintings. We still have some Zesty Wolf and advent calendars in stock. We did do a big stock so that we'd have them for a while. So do feel free to grab one of those if maybe you've not done one of those before. Yeah, and join us for the June waffle where we do a little bit of diamond painting each day and chat through all sorts of topics from curry and chips to diamond painting accessories. You ask the questions, you leave the comments, and the discussion goes where the discussion goes. But thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.